And we're live.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect, how it affects them, and the price of milk. Thank you. And be sure to hit the like and subscribe down below.
All right, awesome. Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone's had a wonderful week so far. We've hit a milestone hump day. Happy hump day to everyone. I'm excited to present some new effects tonight. So before we get started, we're going to mention a few birthdays. Is that right, Theresa? You got some birthdays on the agenda?
Yes, I do, Brian. Let me go ahead and give you some birthdays.
Do you want to make some announcements of the chat, or you want me to call them out?
Oh, you want to do that first, or you want me to do the birthdays? It's up to you.
All right, we'll do the birthdays, then we'll mention the people that are here.
Yeah, let a few more people join. You know what I mean? So,
sure thing.
Okay. Well. So, Mark Wilson's birthday is tomorrow, April 7th. We have Danny McKinney, April 9th. Jennifer Barnes Kephart, April 11th. Honey Ann Amaya and Jerry Hicks both share April 13th. Happy birthday for both of you guys. Let's see who else we got. Sarah Skloot is April 20th. Martin Rogers, Wizardry. His birthday is April 29th. And then we start in May, but I'm not going to go into May yet because we're still in April. And that's it. It's everybody.
Awesome. That's great. Happy birthday to all those names out there that we called out. And I want to mention some people here that are here in the chat.
Your mom.
Captain Kirk is there. My mom is there. Let's see. Theresa, you're there, apparently.
Yeah, I was in there talking to people.
Michael Fontaine. Hey, Michael.
Scroll up a little bit.
What's up, you guys? Colin's here. Lord Fry Bread. Hey, what's up? Good to have you here. So, yeah. So, which one? Let's see. Which one are we doing first, Theresa?
Should we do one that's in my group? You want to bring it up? I don't think Sandy's ready yet. Oh wait, hold on.
There are some on here that she uploaded. So
Brian, she said you can do the residue folder.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll start off there. Thanks, Sandy.
All right. Go ahead, Brian. We're going to do the residue folder first. Sandy's going to be joining us shortly. We got some shocking new Mandela effects that are going to blow you away. No? Do you see anything?
Yeah, let's see. Okay, I'm looking here on my screen. Whoa. Okay, boom. All right, here we go. All right, so these are some weird logos, you guys, that we're looking at here. Again, we're seeing a lot of merging going on with the logos.
Mm-hmm.
The A's are beginning to look like upside down V's.
Yeah.
And the zeros are losing their holes. I mean, the O's are losing their their holes. Guys, check out that jet on the upper right. Look at that engine right there. Is that weird or what?
Wait a minute. Desert Flower. I live in Las Vegas too. That's weird. Somebody in the chat lives where I live. What a coincidence. Your dad's in the chat too.
Hey, Dad.
I don't know what this Texaco motor oil is. Do you?
Again, Sandy wanted to point out some of these logos here, apparently. So, especially with this 66 Double Eagle bottle lemon soda. Also, Texaco.
Brian?
Yeah.
She wants you to get out of Flickr.
Okay. What? I thought you said she could start with these residues.
I don't know. She told me to tell you to get out of Flickr.
Okay.
Oh, she wants you to take calls, phone calls.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna. You know what, guys? We're gonna switch this up a little bit. Sorry about that. Sandy needs to upload things to Flickr, and Brian being in there slows it down. So we apologize, Brian. Sandy said take phone calls.
All right then.
All right. So what we're gonna do, guys? We're gonna do some live phone calls. In you can call in and talk about your Mandela effects or whatever you want to talk about. So Brian's going to put the phone number up on the screen. And do we know what it is, Brian?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Voice. I'm going to enable Google Voice so people can call me.
Yeah. We're going to be showing Mandela effects shortly, guys. We promise. I mean, these were just like literally last minute Mandela effects we found today. So This was like poor Sandy is like working her tail off.
Yeah, we normally do the show on Sunday, but we couldn't wait to get some of these out.
Wait, guys. We got to get these out. Like seriously.
Okay, so in the meantime, if we can, could we take a caller or two? And Theresa, would you want to maybe conduct a small interview?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hear from you guys. Come on, some of you guys who have not been on here.
The phone number is
call in.
Okay, 850 764 1552. Again, that is 850 764 1552. Please call in. Like to hear from somebody. Come on. There you go.
Oh, that's me. I'm just testing it. I'm testing it. So it is working. So anyone who would want to call, please call in. We'd love to hear from you.
Tell your dad to call in.
What about John Nada? We haven't heard from John Nada, have we? John, you want to call in?
John Nada, can you call in? I think something changed. Anita's talking about something says it's Jack. I don't know. Oh, Jack in the Box?
Jack in the Box is now Jack's. Yeah.
What? Oh, Adam for Christ. Have him call in.
Adam for Christ, would you like to call in? Anybody, come on, please call in.
850 764 1552. There you go.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, my friends. It's Captain Kirk. Kirk James. How you doing?
Hey, Captain Kirk. How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Not bad. I was going to, because I've talked on your show briefly before, so I was hoping somebody else would give them a chance. But anyway, so I decided to call in because we had dead air. We can't have dead air, right?
No, we can't have dead air.
No, we can't. We can't do that. That's unethical.
That's right.
So what's going on? What's been going on since the last time we heard from you?
Well, there's a lot of it. I'm actually in San Diego now, and I've been traveling the nation. I don't know if you remember my story. It's too long to go through that. But I'm actually staying at a safety parking lot that had a Jewish mission. I'm not Jewish, but I'm staying here, so it's kind of nice. It's a vehicle, and they lock the gates, and you have to be in a certain time. It's really cool. They actually had a dinner tonight, and they had like sushi and stuff. Are you kidding me? But anyway, So, yes, I've been traveling and I've learned a lot. I've gone really way deep in the rabbit hole. I've gone beyond our Christianity. I've gone beyond the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like I said, I've worked with decoding reality people, and we have gone so far in the rabbit hole. It just blows your mind once you find out what this reality is about. Okay, and it doesn't mean the Lord's real, by the way. The Father of Heaven's real, and all these things. But once you find out that, it'll blow your mind. I've done some videos on this on my channel. Not trying to advertise my channel, but you should check it out. That's I talk about the theory of everything, and I've just been keep on searching and finding. So if anybody has a chance, I'm gonna do more videos about this, the theory of everything. It is kind of true. The Matrix is kind of true. The movie tells us the truth. Alice in Wonderland kind of tells us some things. God has been speaking, aside through many means, as you know, through movies, Mandela effect, songs, everything they can to wake us up. Okay, so if you're asleep, boy, you can't. I don't know how you can be asleep and not see that God is trying to do everything He can to wake you up. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, starting in the babble. I actually had my video. Just by the way, you have very careful. I'm going to be very careful. I'm talking about the back. I did nothing. I mentioned the Jabba Jabba Roo. I did nothing. I mentioned again about changing RNA and DNA, and I don't want you to get whacked, so I'm not going to talk about it. They brought it down, my video, okay, immediately. So we're not allowed to talk about, the Jabba Jabba Roo. You know what I mean?
Yep, we cannot talk about that vacuum. Yeah. Yep.
Because you will get your video come down. Mine was up for like 10 minutes and immediate. See, all truthers in this world have to pay a price. See, you're truthers too, right? We're all truthers trying to be the truth. And even Socrates was a truther, right? And they forced him to drink hemlock, right? And the Lord was one of the biggest truthers. Look what happened to him. Any truther that they don't want to understand that you are a true soul, a true being, and all these things that you're going to pay a price. Okay, the louder you are, the harder they're going to come after you. But God protects you though, because I have been speaking, and I want to go there. But God and the Lord, they've been protecting me, and they'll protect you as well. There's just certain, So that's the thing is, you got to have no fear, right? The world's a mess right now, and that's why I tell people, have no fear. It's the fear, guilt, and control matrix, right? If you have fear, then you lost control, right? Have no fear. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take fear through vaccines, through wars, through all these means to create fear in your heart. Okay, so that's rule number one: is have no fear and control. That you guys, you know this. They're trying to program you through TV, the news. Start TV when you start in grade school, become a brick in the wall, and they're trying to program your mind to follow their thing. So fear, control, and then the guilt, the false guilt. Hey, if you care about these people, you'd be wearing a mask. No, not true. If you care, then you live in the basement. Don't take away my free will. This rule, they call it the human prison bar realm or HTV realm. They try those techniques to just completely brainwash you, control you. You know, that's why we have. And I'm not just trying to insult these people. Whatever, they just take downloads, and we're getting outnumbered. You, me, and the other ones around this world are getting outnumbered by being fully awake and seeing through the veil. Thank God that God has blessed us and removed the veil so we can see changes even in the Ventifacts, right? These other people take it down and they can't see the things. So, sorry about that. I didn't mean to ramble. I hope that provides some value. But if you have any questions,
no, you're fine. No, trust me, you're fine, Captain Kirk. You always present a lot of great information to the group, and we appreciate you for jumping on here when we had some dead air, man. I'm sure you've heard of some of the euphemisms. You mentioned something about the some of the stuff. So I've heard that people are actually calling the act of the JABB. We call it the swim club. It's called the swim club.
The swim club.
Yeah, that's the euphemism for it. If you want to use code language.
Well, thank you. You never just have to use code names now. Now, I'm going to tell you something really interesting, because we want to stick with spiritual stuff versus the noise of this reel because they're going to, it's constant noise, right? But Canada just passed a law that this channel, YouTube, Facebook, anybody else, they provide any form of news that they have to pay a tax to the local news stations in Canada. That's how they're going to fund them. So guess what that is? That is another shut your mouth because because these companies work internationally. You know, Google actually owns YouTube. So now guess what? They're going to make down on us harder because what you're doing can be considered news. And guess what? They're going to start running more filters saying, well, we can't have you mention anything that's news related because we don't want to pay Canada taxes. So Canada is now they're attacking the private companies too as well. Are you kidding me? Canada is worse than Hitler with his Gestapo and dictatorship. I mean, that country is falling apart, and you believe it. So they're providing all freedom of speech, allowing none. So I just saw that news article on that. So what I'm saying is, it's going to be very difficult for us to communicate. Pretty soon we have to start speaking Pig Latin. You remember Pig Latin? Maybe they couldn't understand if we said Pig Latin. Are you supposed to have filters for that one?
Well, you think the AI is smart enough to pick all that up?
Probably not. Probably not. So if we start speaking a language like the code talkers, the Native Americans actually saved us in World War II because they had these Native Americans, they were code talkers, and the Germans could never figure it out. They like, what are they saying? And they could never ever figure it out. So that was honor to the Native Americans. They said that they helped us win World War II due to code talking. So maybe we should come with our own code talking, start talking Pig Latin. And we're such a small thing. I don't think they put the resources into their filters.
Well, the adults might not pick it up, but some of the kids might quick enough.
The kids might, right? And I got pretty good when I was a kid. I used to be able to talk. My brothers and I, we'd talk like 90 miles a minute. But it's weird though, right?
Right.
You gotta understand too. Right?
No, it challenges you to think on a higher level, I guess. Also,
it does, yeah.
But go ahead. You can digress.
No, you gotta understand too is that there is also that remember God's got this in play, so that He's aware of the world getting blocked, right? He's probably actually listening to this right now. I'm sure the Lord is as well, by the way. I'm not kidding you. The Lord is listening to this every word that's coming out of our mouth right now. So anyway, you gotta understand they allow some of this to occur so that we learn things about you and I learn to work together. How do we solve the problem? Sometimes they allow these things to unfold so that we're like, well, why don't they block them back using their supernatural power? But you got to realize that part of this game is us learning to work together as a team, you, me, and everybody else, and also how to maneuver around this reel, right? And understand good and hate. See, that's what makes you holy. Now I'm saying too fast on those things. But I want you to understand is that that's what makes us holy, is that you understand good, evil, good and evil, that duality. I mean, I've been exposed to such evil things, I can't even repeat some of the stuff that I've heard on the streets, like the piano man, disgusting. But it did make me holy. It made me understand things. So, it's not like our God does not, people say, well, if you're God, why does He allow evil? He does not allow evil. He always turns bad into good, number one, because I've seen it a million times. I've seen it every time. Bad and good. Number two, that we're the ones that make those free will choices. And number three, we're learning about that makes us more holy, that we're understanding, evil and not understanding, but how to deal with that, and it makes us better people. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, right. Good will always triumph over evil. We know that for a fact. And in this,
always.
Prayer is a very powerful thing. Let me tell you, because I've lived in fear, even most recently with all these tornadoes we get in the South. Like, it just seems like it's one thing after another. But I know that the Lord has us in His hands. And that's
you're right.
Every time I worry or have fear, I always remind myself of that, and then I calm down. And I wanted to tell you, thanks for calling again, Captain Kirk. We appreciate it. You're always welcome to come on and talk. Sandy's ready now. So are you? Did you have anything else real quick you wanted to mention?
No. I just want to say thank you so much because you're the best, and and the only thing I want to say is that's why, just real briefly, we always wondered why we've been scattered around the world. I came from Colorado because God intentionally had put us in different parts. So some of us are in, the closest one that around me that I know. There's one here in California that I know that's Mandela affected and awake, because some of these Mandela affected people are fakes, by the way. They're fake, right? So
No.
Yeah, so be very careful. That's what I say. Trust nobody. Who should you trust? I'm gonna ask you again. Who should you trust?
I only trust one man, and he's God in the flesh.
Exactly.
That's the only person I trust.
Exactly. Trust nobody else, because I'm telling you, I have been bent over backwards by people I trusted that they swore they'd die for me next to me to tell me the truth, and they cheated me over. Are you kidding me? Now, see, that's why we listen to others. We use discernment. Trust nobody but God.
Yes,
himself.
and see, that is the key to understanding the
Yeah.
Mandela effect. To see the blur, see through the blurred lines, because that's what we're seeing. We're seeing blurred lines. The enemy is trying to blind us and see, but we have the blinders off. That's the thing. And I don't know whether we're supposed to see it or not. I think I feel like God chose us to see it. It's kind of whether we like it or whether we like it at this point. It's whether we like it or not. But I know that we're going to stay strong together.
We are. Now, I don't, because I know you want to get moving along. You want to just hear Kirk babble and this thing. But
no, you're good. You're good.
I don't know if you've covered the Bible. Talking about the Bible changes. There is, and it is so gross now. The stuff about, I hate to say it, but I'm so sorry. It's gonna be gross.
Well,
drinking on urine and feces and stuff is actually been added to the Bible. Are you kidding me? If a priest can't read talking about discriminants in the Bible, are you kidding me that doesn't put a question in your head that the Bible's changed? I mean, that is just blatantly disgusting, right? So they're really going to bring that up.
Well, yeah,
that sounds like cult-like behavior.
I think it's becoming more and more perverse because it's
gross.
I understand. Yes, that is gross. Yeah, why would anyone want to do that? There's an old saying that one does not deprecate where someone eats or sleeps. I mean, so that that's one thing you don't do it. Even cats are smart enough not to do it. So and Sandy knows all. Sandy knows all about that. Sandy, how many cats do you have?
One.
The one cat. Yeah. Well,
I used
cats
to have
are smart.
2. I have 1 now.
Yes. So I believe we're ready to start to get on with the show.
The only reason I brought that up was because I want to make sure everybody understands that you have preachers and pastors and saints all over this world that can't see the Mandela effect changes. But you got to realize sometimes God chooses people outside the church on purpose. Read it many times. He said, "I'm going to pick people who are not married to the dang church." I don't know your background, so it doesn't matter what you are, where you're from. And there was a two-way street that's called retroactivity that you came along and said, "Yeah, I want to help God in this final mission." And God saw that and knew that you're coming. So it's awesome, man. We should all be. It's been hard, but you know what? You're on an adventure of a lifetime. We should be so excited that we get to be a part of this with humble pride, right?
I am thankful. Amazing. I am so thankful to know
Oh my God, yes, right?
To know all of you in our chat. We see you guys week to week. A lot of times we don't announce ourselves way ahead of time like some folks do. We just kind of play it by ear. But you guys are so faithful, and we appreciate it to coming on to the show. It's not just about the Mandela. It's that we're reaching folks. That's the idea. We're trying to help people discern and understand, because discernment is the key thing. Like I mentioned,
there you go.
We have to see.
You remember that, Mike?
Sir?
No, I didn't. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. So yeah, we have to see what's coming Because even the greatest, the way I see it, no one knows. No one really truly knows except for God. He's the only one who knows, who can really say what's going to happen. And if today there's a Bible saying that if today we hear your voice, harden not your hearts. So I'm hoping that he'll speak loudly to us when the time comes. So I just want to thank you for coming on again, Captain Kirk. We appreciate you, man. Is your
Thank you. I'll get off. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I just want to thank you again. So again, we look forward to hearing from you again soon. Let us know what all you've come across. You're very knowledgeable.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, well, the thing is, we all just share information. That's part of it. The communication is what's the key to everything. Remember, communication is key to life, marriage, anything you have, as long as we keep on communicating.
Yeah, there's a lot of people hold back. They keep themselves back from moving forward. So I can tell that you're not like that.
Yeah, sometimes I talk too much.
No. That's not what I'm trying to say. No.
I just threw that in there. I'm not kidding you.
No.
I know you were saying that, but I just threw that in there.
I'm saying
determined by audience and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyway.
No, I mean,
right,
no, what I mean.
Here, but and thank every one of you, right? And God bless you all.
What I mean.
Everybody, even the people in the comments, they're a part of this team. And they're going to be, they're just the fact that they, all one of us are working together. We all have our role, all doing our duty, and it's just awesome. We're just like one big family under God. Just children, just one big family. And this family's going to win, right? We've already won, by the way. It's not whether if, it's just when, right? And God knows the timing, not us, right?
Right. For whatever reason, these things are happening, but we're gonna find out eventually, and I'm hoping for the day. But right now, we're just analyzing the evidence that's out there, and so let's proceed with the show. And thanks again, Captain Kirk.
Okay. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Captain
All right,
Kirk.
man.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye. Oh man, that was awesome.
I missed most of it. Trying to
Okay,
get
yeah,
big
Captain Kirk,
last-minute
thanks again
presentation
for
together
coming on.
Theresa.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to say, about him, about the, him. No, he's great for talking, and he's very knowledgeable. So yeah, let's proceed.
Somebody's confused about what's going on. Somebody in the chat, they don't know what's going on.
Oh, Hammer says, I'm so confused. What's going on in the stream? Okay, well, so what happened, we are doing the show now.
We're confused.
We have the effects to present, but we were just allowing for some time.
I think it's the day of the week that's throwing him off.
We took a caller while I was finishing up because Theresa found stuff last minute today. So they had to throw together. So.
And it couldn't wait, guys. It's that good.
So did I, Hammer. So did I.
Hey, last flyboy.
Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to everyone. It's so hard to type hello to everybody because I got to do it letter by letter. I'm already late.
Sandy, I refreshed. So where did you want me to first?
What should he present first?
Whatever you want. I mean, there's a lot there. Just scroll down. I would scroll down. Actually, someone asked me to do a rewind, and that's why there's a rewind there. It's April Fool's because we were supposed to have a show on April Fool's Day.
Oh, we were. April Limino.
I think you look. March 28th up. Look, whatever you missed for March 28th, up. Start from there and move up.
All right, that's fine. So let's talk about this title of the Stevenson novel, I guess. Classic novel written by Stevenson.
Yes. This one's a good one.
The reason I'm starting from the bottom up, I figure we'll cover more ground that way.
That's Sandy's.
We'll cover more ground that way, and The newer stuff will be at the end to allow for more people to show up.
Yeah.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
We can.
Okay, so
Andy,
so
that's
who is?
you.
What, Brian? Brian, you can read this if you want.
Okay, so Sandy found this one. What is the title of this 1886 classic novel written by Robert Louis Stevenson?
And I'm going to give a hint. Jekyll is in the title. If that doesn't help you, then I can't help you anymore. I'm sorry. So the one says Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Well, that's what I thought. That's my first thought.
Hammer says, I don't remember the whole name, but Jekyll and Hyde. Lord Frybread agrees, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Let's see. Inspired creation for the Hulk, says the one. I can see that. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, your dad. Kalima says Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hamlet. Anyone have
like Willy,
any other?
He looks like Willy Wonka on the right side.
Yeah, an evil Willy Wonka. Adam for Christ says, me too, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
All right, can we continue?
Lord Frybread says Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and read it in middle school. So we can go on. Okay, Brian.
Okay. I have only ever known the book to be called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The film and theater version still use the title I remember and sometimes use just Jekyll and Hyde. So if you look at the spelling, he has it Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is Hyde. Huh?
We're going to get to Jekyll at the end, but go on.
Okay, so that's the way it is. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The book title is titled that, but that isn't what we remember. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Again, this is another title change. Do you remember The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? The Strange Case was never in the title in my past.
Nope.
No, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Some are missing the in the beginning of the title too. So sometimes you just see Strange Case. That's so weird. And you notice that the one on the bottom right. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me zoom in. You guys see there's this smaller font style in the title, but then it emphasizes the larger text, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So I guess that could be like the man's excuse. Maybe we're just remembering the emphasized text.
Maybe.
But no,
that one's missing the as well.
Again, we're seeing this is the way it is in this timeline. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I wonder if that's what my parents remember. Have they responded in the chat yet, Sandy?
No, they have not.
Okay.
Desert Flower said Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
But there is residue.
Oh, yeah, yes, your father did. Your father said Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Well, I'm sure he's surprised to find out it's the Strange Case now of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So there's residue for what we remember. There's even a coin that was made.
See, now that's new for me too. Hammer says the original copy of Jekyll and Hyde was destroyed in a house fire, so we never got to read the original version. The dude had to rewrite the whole book.
Now, when I covered this last week, Mandela spelled Jekyll differently in the chat. Does anyone else remember Dr. Jekyll with Jeckyll instead of JekYll? Anybody remember that? because there's residue for that too.
There is. On
Which
books.
it doesn't make any sense to me unless it's maybe in another country, maybe like possibly Germany or something. Maybe I don't know.
No. Some of
Or
them are.
Britain.
Some of them are American, though.
It could be Britain. Like, you know, for instance, in Britain, well, actually in America, we say pajamas. In Britain, they say pyjamas, P-Y. So just
I
giving you an
know.
example of a change. Like,
Yes. But I mean, these are like comics from the U.S. Like, there's stuff from the U.S. here to see.
very possible. Very possible. I mean, I only remember the JEK version, but, you know, it's very
Same.
possible. Yeah. Again, more residue for those folks who, or for you guys who remember it that way, okay?
There's a lot of residue. A lot for
JECK.
C. Yeah.
Okay. So, did you look around, Sandy, to see if anyone had discovered this one before you ran into it? Did you look around?
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Everyone in the chat here remembers Jekyll like we remember it, the EKYLL. But this was on Mandela Monday, and Mandanimal remembered it with the C. And your mother says Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Weird, huh? Yeah.
No
I mean,
strange
we
case.
all can't be having memory issues here, right? I mean, we're mostly mad here. We're not all mad here, you know. I'm just kidding.
Mostly.
You know, it's a reference to the Cheshire Cat. You know, he
Uh-huh.
used to say we're all mad here now, and now he says we're mostly mad here now. So this one's a new one for Sandy. So there's a local Mandela in her area, and is this Philly?
No, this is Camden, New Jersey.
Oh, Hampton, Jersey?
Camden.
Camden. Okay,
You know
so
where
there's an
Campbell's
exit.
Soup is? Yeah. Dad,
Where
you can read it.
what is?
Where Campbell's Soup is located.
Oh, we're Campbell Soup. And where's it located?
Camden, New Jersey.
How do you spell that?
Camden.
Camden. Okay, I couldn't tell if you said
Yes.
Campton. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
That's why I had to get
Camden.
clarification. So
I got you.
Andy drives past this every day on the way to Rutgers, and
Used to.
used to take when drove a pickup for work has changed. So while she doesn't, do you want to read this one, Sandy?
Sure. Yeah, since I know more about it, it probably
Okay,
makes
yeah, it
sense.
makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I do not expect anyone to know this. I will present enough evidence that this is a certifiable change to my reality. I grew up hearing the name of this street in Camden. My grandparents lived there in Camden, and my dad worked in Camden. This isn't just a random street or exit. Like, I just grew up hearing this street name all the time, giving directions, stuff like that. I've always heard the name of the street. And Wizardry, if he was here, also remembers the street. So I wasn't the only one who remembered this, which is shocking. This street, this exit was Kaighn Avenue. And now, as you can see, it's Kaighns with an S. And may seem like a little change to you, but what's your street name? Say it in your head. Add an S to it. That's not right, right? This is not right. It was Kaighn Avenue. It never had an S. Okay, Brian. So here you're going to see on the left Kaighns Point on the map, but next to it is Kaighn Avenue and Front Street. Going back to newspapers and maps, it was originally Kaighns Point Avenue, later changed to Kaighns Avenue. It's never been Kaighn Avenue, like my memory. When I was a delivery driver for my stepdad's machine shop, I'd have to bring parts to Joe at Duroplating at least once a week. That's Joe in the bottom left. That's the building in the bottom right. At the top is the address. Notice his business card and everything's in red. But the stuff on the side for door plating, that says Kaighn Avenue. That's good.
Did you ask anybody else in your neighborhood if they remember that or in that area?
The only people I could ask were my parents, and they both like got upset to even think about it. Another person from my reality, I don't know why it says that, another person who remembers my reality, I don't know what from is there for, is the person who owns and named the Kaighn Avenue Baptist Church. So it's on the building, on sign, on maps, Kaighn Avenue Baptist Church on Kaighn Avenue. So stupid.
That's so weird. Sandy, I have a similar situation where I live at.
You do?
Yeah, mine's
We'll have
Lawson,
to,
but it's also Lawson's at the same time. It's so weird.
we'll have to look it up. We'll look it up or present it. So here's more stuff for Kaighn Avenue Baptist Church. But the residue gets even better, guys. Don't worry. It's even better. Countless clippings. I'm still waiting for it to get on my big screen. I'm trying to read it on the phone. And ads all remember Kaighn Avenue, but it's always been Kaighns. I'm sharing this with you to remind you that sometimes the biggest Mandela changes are the ones that only we see. This is huge for me. For you guys, it's like, okay, well, it probably was Kaighn Avenue, but you don't know because this is new to you. But for me, this is a huge change. My whole life, it's been Kaighn Avenue, and now there's an S on the end. That's so messed up to me. Yeah, fine. I guess the best residue. But the best residue comes from street signs that for some reason have not changed. Like you can even see on Google Maps, it says Kaighn Avenue, but the sign says Kaighn. But 2 blocks away, the street sign says Kaighns with an S.
That's so weird.
Mm-hmm. So here's current reality. Yeah, Captain Kirk, we're talking about tonight. What do you think? That's why I was late. Theresa posted it in the group. You might want to flip through the residue fast. I think there's a lot of residue
Yeah, we
here.
got a lot to cover and so little time to do it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to flip through this stuff. Yeah, Theresa.
Sandy, I didn't post this in the group yet.
Someone else did then.
When?
Tonight.
Posted what in the group?
The article that you sent me that I did a whole presentation on.
Oh, no. No. Nope. Sandy.
Oh, it's just a side note that ME is standing out like that, but that's actually a phone number. Back in the day, the first 2 letters of the town were the phone number. So ME for Merchantville. But it was just funny that that was like in the Google search results, ME. I'm like, really?
What the heck?
Yeah. So the phone number was ME84266.
Sandy.
Yes, Theresa.
I'm putting a note in there that we're presenting this tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, are we making a list of anything? Theresa, would you mind making the list for tonight, the things that we cover, so I can put it in the description?
Teresa's taking care of something else right now.
Okay,
Why don't you
no problem.
do the one that Captain Kirk's talking about in the chat at the
Which one is
top,
that?
Brian? The one that's T&S, the purple one. The cell one, Brian.
Oh yeah, the cells in nature.
Because there's a lot more to that too. I found something separately that isn't the same, but it's got some sort of relation to it. So it's all in one folder. Theresa, go ahead, you're up.
I did find this early this morning. And I let Sandy know right away about this, right, Sandy?
Yes, Teresa.
Okay. Scientists have discovered a brand new, very important type of cell in our lungs.
You don't
Go
have to say
ahead.
sorry, Captain Kirk. It's okay. It was on the internet.
respiratory airway secretory cells, or RAS cells, reside in our bronchioles and seem to have two purposes. The first being to coat our lungs with fluids when needed, but their second purpose could be life-changing for millions of people. RAS cells are blank cells similar to stem cells. They can replicate any cell and repair damaged cells. This discovery could lead to advancement and new treatments of smoking-related diseases such as COPD and even lung cancer.
There's a bigger picture of the bronchioles for you guys so you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I had forgotten all about the alveoli, but I love the name alveoli, how it rolls off the tongue.
So the cells are inside the bronchioles. No, now our lungs can repair themselves. Isn't that crazy?
Well, they say the lungs, you can actually bleed. Your lungs will bleed now. Okay,
All
so
right,
what
so
does this
now we're
mean?
switching gears. Now we're done with the article part. I'm giving you guys a trypophobia warning. This part of the presentation may trigger trypophobia. I don't know if anybody experiences that, but if you see a lot of holes or dots and it makes you anxious, upset, or sick, this might not be the presentation to watch. Just close your eyes and listen if you want, because it's important info.
Well, I might have
But
to close. Nothing.
You
I
can't
was going
close
to
your
say I
eyes.
might have to close my eyes.
Why?
You can't close your eyes, Brian. You gotta at least look at the arrows to hit the buttons. Okay. When it gets on my screen. Speaking of
Go ahead,
cells,
Sandy. Go ahead.
I've come across something that changes everything I ever knew about nature. Everything I was taught is now wrong. So I'm really curious what you remember. And I asked Theresa and Brian, and they agree. So I'm thinking it may be a change to your reality too. We got a couple questions in this one.
You want me to hold before we go into the next slide?
No, we have to get to the question first. But first, I want to ask you, do you remember Dew doing this? Focusing on the perimeter of leaves instead of all over the leaf? In the chat, yes or no? Do you remember seeing Dew like this? Just decorating the edges of the leaf? You can go on, Brian. They can answer yes or no. There's more to this. Dew can still be found like it used to be, all over the leaf, like it's supposed to be, I guess you could say. But I'm coming across a lot of these leaves with balls of dew hanging from the edges, which is completely new to me. But more on dew later. Desert Flower says no. Hammer says very rarely. Lord Frybread says no all over. Best Flyboy, not much. You don't need a macro lens to see this.
And this is not just like one specific species. We're talking about multiple species here, right, Sandy?
Yeah, you can tell by the shapes of the leaves, even the colors, that they're all different leaves.
The one over
There's
there on the right looks
there's
like an elephant
maple.
ear.
All different leaves. All right, so here we go. This is where the trypophobia comes in. It wasn't the leaves. We have all heard of respiration, the act of breathing and exhaling CO2 and water vapor, and evaporation, when water is transformed from a liquid to a gas. But yeah, Brian.
All right. So true
The
or
next
false?
one's the question. We're not there yet. There we go. True or false? When liquid turns into a gas from solid objects, plants, and the ground, aka not a body of water, the process is called evaporation. True or false? This is where you hang out, Brian. Right here. When liquid turns into a gas from anything but a body of water, the process is called evaporation. True or false? Hammer says true, yo.
Well, true. That's. I mean,
That's what evaporation is, right?
like when you sweat, your sweat. The sun shining on you, it's going to evaporate. The sweat will evaporate off of you.
Yes, that's what I was in. No, that's not what we're looking for, Michael Fontaine. Emmy Sagittarius says true. Michael Fontaine says false. It would be a fog. Well, no, fog is gas, so that would still be liquid turning into gas.
Fog is a form of evaporation.
Right, so you would be saying true with that statement. Desert Flowers says true. Lord Flowerbird says true.
Are you
John
telling me,
Nada says
Sandy?
not sure,
Are you telling
but
me
I
it's
think
called
it's
something
true.
different?
We're going to get there, Brian. We can go on. We have a lot of trues in the chat. It is false. In my past, regardless of where the liquid turns into a gas, the process was still evaporation. Not anymore. Right, fog is condensation, but if it were, well, Michael Fontaine, fog is condensation. Wow, I'm losing my mind. That's not the point. These aren't new words. They have elementary school science worksheets teaching children these words, but I've never heard of them. Have you ever heard of transpiration and evapotranspiration? I've never heard of these words before. Have you? Transpiration and evapotranspiration. Evapotranspiration is when liquid in soil or the ground is released and turned into a gas, which I would have said water evaporated from the soil. But no, it's evapotranspiration. It evapotranspirated from the soil. This is totally new to me.
So do they even use the word? Do they even use the word evaporation anymore?
They do, but keep going. And transpiration is when water is released from plants and turns into a gas. Before you go any further, Brian, in the chat, do you remember water coming out of plants? Because I've only known plants to absorb water. I've never known of water coming out of plants. Unless it, there's a specific type of plant that,
Wait,
I don't know.
Sandy, I'm curious. How
Yes.
do you say water or water? How do you say that?
I just said it, water.
That's what I say, water. I say water also. I'm weird.
No, you just actually were from this area at one point.
Yeah, people in the South say water.
Right, oxygen would be coming out. Your mom says, "Are you kidding me?" I am not, Anita. Eddie Von Keen says transpiration is water. It can choose if it wants to be a water or a solid. I think he meant liquid, but you know what I mean. Well, when you cut a tree and water gushes, that makes sense because it's in the roots and it's in the trunk, so that makes sense. But if there was just water gushing out of the leaves, you would be like, "What the heck is this?" Right? All right, we can go on, Brian. So here's all the graphics and children's worksheets talking about transpiration and evapotranspiration and all these words I've never ever heard of. Your mom's screaming that it's more confusing for children. Yeah. There's a USGS article that says evapotranspiration contributes water into the air in the water cycle. Well, no, I was being facetious. It's not really gushing out of trees. Yeah, that would be something interesting. That would be a Mandela effect for sure. Brian, there's more of these. I would go.
Okay.
But there is an experiment where if you tie a plastic bag around a branch of leaves and leave it there for a few days, the bag will collect with water. I remember studying the parts of a plant in elementary and high school, but I must have missed the class that taught us that leaves and stems have cells on it that breathe. Specific cells that breathe. Yeah, Brian. Called stomata. Now I remember stoma cells, but not stomata. Stomata cells. These cells look like little mouths that open and close, pulling carbon dioxide in and exhaling water. Why did I put H2O in water? It was supposed to be oxygen. Wow. Oxygen and water. So it was supposed to be H2O and O2. I don't know why I wrote water twice. Sorry about that. So exhaling H2O and O2. Oxygen and water. So cells on the leaves, little mouths on the leaves, spit out oxygen and water. I remember being like, not yelled at, but corrected by my mother. Not to.
Well, I was always taught that they absorb water through the leaves.
That's what I'm saying. My mom would say, like, make sure you get the water on the ground.
There's a process called osmosis, and I don't know where that fits into all this. It may have
No,
to do
it
with
doesn't.
something
That's
with
on
pulling the
cell
water
level.
from the ground. Huh?
Yeah, well, this is you're talking about absorption. It absorbs the water from the soil into the roots.
Is that what the osmosis part is?
No, hold on. You're making. I don't know the exact definition of osmosis. Hold on.
Okay, so I'll read this. While
Osmosis is the spontaneous movement or diffusion of solvent molecules through a selectively permeable membrane from a region of high water potential to a region of low water potential. Has nothing to do with the plants.
Can you imagine that trying to regurgitate that out on an exam?
No, but you can skip this one. There's a duplicate. I chose a better picture.
Okay.
And there's a duplicate slide. So here's pictures of the stomata cells. And some of them look like they're freaking visible on leaves.
They look like
and
little
some
mouths.
of them are microscopic images. Right. The majority of them are microscopic images. And some of them, I should say, and some of them look like they might be visible to the naked eye. And if that's the case, I'm at a loss for words if any of them are visible to the naked eye. Because that would be creepy. But I would assume they're all microscopic.
I would have to tell them that they're from the Shut Your Trap family.
It's funny you should say that, Tom. We're going to be talking about something else that communicates, but not the plants. I don't know. This is creepy to me. I don't ever remember little mouth cells on leaves that spit out water. And like I was trying to say, my mom would, tell me not to get the water on the leaves because, they need it at the roots. When I was little, we were planting watermelons or something or strawberries in the
So the
backyard.
water is released from the leaf into the air.
Yes, as well as oxygen. When the
That makes
humidity is
me.
high,
It kind of makes me
the
think twice
water,
before eating lettuce and
yeah, I'm going
spinach
to
and all
get to that too. When
that.
the humidity is high, the water
Oh,
being
sorry.
released from these cells do not transpirate into water vapor. I'm waiting for it to go back now. But instead stay in liquid form as dew droplets. So going back to the dew, sometimes dew is not just from the air, it's also from the leaf itself. So if there's too much humidity in the air, that liquid that's released can't turn into a gas, so it stays as a droplet on the leaf. In my past, dew was only created from condensation of moisture in the air, not liquid coming from the plant. Is this your memory too? So I'm sorry, this is like a huge change to how our world works, for me at least. So I'm asking if this is a change for you guys.
Right there, that plant to me almost resembles fiber optics. Like if you remember those little things you used to get at the fair, those little wavy
Uh,
wands that have like all those
yeah,
strands that light up on the ends.
and the dewdrops don't they help the case. I also have no memory of plants breathing and exhaling water. It was only photosynthesis and water absorbed from the soil into the roots that gave a plant CO2 and water. Okay. So we have new to everyone RAS cells because the article was published yesterday, and new to us stomatocells, us being me, Theresa, and Brian, because and you guys now too, on stems, leaves, including leafy vegetables like lettuce. That's why it's funny you said that, Brian. Lettuce, spinach, and Brussels sprouts, which breathe out water. And two new forms of evaporation that have always been transpiration and evapotranspiration. For me, this changes everything I knew about how plants work. Is this new for you too?
Well, Sandy, did you look up photosynthesis? Because I think that's changed as well.
How has photosynthesis changed? I'll look it up right
No,
now.
we talked about that, and actually, I interviewed my sister, and Teresa was there while we interviewed my sister on this. She's very
How
knowledgeable on
long
the
ago was
subject of
this?
photosynthesis. It was a long time ago, and it has. If you look on the back in the picture, there's I have a picture of plants versus zombies in the background.
Hey, Brian, when you looked it up, did it say this? Photosynthesis is a process used by plants and other organisms to convert light energy into chemical energy that through cellular
Right.
respiration. Did it say cellular respiration?
I no, I don't think so.
And that's what we're talking about today is cellular respiration on the leaves.
No, but the idea with photosynthesis is that um, converts oxygen. The oxygen, of course, is a byproduct, and I remember it involved the green pigment chlorophyll, which is why leaves are green. But
Yes.
it requires this. There was some process that changed to it. What was I'm trying to remember the.
I mean, I've always known sunlight
Yeah, it says
is
cellular
transformed
respiration.
into energy.
Yeah, I don't remember the cellular respiration part being in there.
No, I don't either. Oh.
Oh, I think the Mandela effect behind it was that it required, or no, that what was it? The plants, like a house plant. You know, you would think that it's giving off oxygen, but it's actually not because it requires sunlight. So any plants that are in your home that, let's say you're breathing carbon dioxide on it, it's not going to release oxygen unless it's near a light source, such as the sun. It has to be um, near a light source to be able to convert that carbon dioxide. So otherwise, it's just released back out in the wild, I guess, the carbon dioxide. Does that make sense?
Yes, you're saying that it needs the photosynthesis to convert the CO2 to oxygen.
Right, but it requires sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create oxygen. And it says it does it in the form of sugar.
Yeah, sugar, that's new too.
Yep. If you go back, you could look up that video. It was, let me see if I can find the title of it. Photosynthesis. I think it's photosynthesis. And Brian, any look up any of my videos. Brian McFarlane.
Your dad says, this science crap is getting out of hand. It's no wonder I hated science in school.
Yep. So it says new huge Mandela effect photosynthesis changed, and it's an interview with Megan McFarlane. So that's my sister, and a plant shop. I also called a plant shop, I think, and interviewed them. So this video was done back in 2017. Looks like December 6, 2017. That long ago. So it's been 5 years ago.
Lord Frybread says, wow, like we moved to a different Earth with different chemistry and physics, therefore our lungs changing, plants emitting water rather than absorbing. Well, they're still absorbing, but they're also emitting. And it's just crazy to me. Crazy, crazy,
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah, so maybe the evapotranspiration and transpiration have affected the way plants process light into energy and oxygen, or light
Very
energy into
possible.
oxygen.
It is, well, see, because the thing is, these cells also inhale CO2.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. So I don't know. It's a very complex system.
Yeah, with little mouths all over the leaves that breathe. I cannot believe this. This is just insanity. Insanity. I can't. All right, you want to go back down to where you were? Scroll back down.
Yeah, I am going to need a list of these.
I can write them after
So,
the show like I used to. Don't worry.
all right, that'll work. So we're going to talk about some nursery rhymes. Um,
All right, we're doing a rewind. I'm doing this rewind. Forgive me.
hey,
I
welcome, Jeff.
forgot who asked for the rewind.
Hey, Brian. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jeff,
Hey,
welcome.
glad you can make it, man.
Me too. Thanks.
Someone specifically asked me to do this one as a rewind, so we're doing it again. I covered this way back in 2019 or 2020. I can't even remember anymore. But there are alternative nursery rhymes I've never heard before. Jeff, you want to read this? Because I'm going to explain some. Some things don't have graphics here. But when there is a graphic, do you want to read it? Because I need a break.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Brian. All right, here's where I'm going into explaining here. Okay, Jeff, read it. Read the whole thing.
Hickory dickory.
Nope, try again. Start over.
I'll need a little bigger.
Make it bigger, Brian.
Okay, here we go. Is that better? Is that a little better?
A little bit, yeah.
Hickety dickety
Hickety
dock.
dickety dock.
Yep.
The mouse ran up the clock struck 1, down the mouse ran, hickety dickety dock. Okay.
Like I said, alternative nursery rhymes that I've never heard before. It was always
Me
what you
either.
said originally, hickory dickory dock. And at the
Right.
end, it was always the clock struck 1, the mouse ran down, hickory dickory dock.
Right. Yeah, this one I never heard of.
Have you guys heard this alternative version? Here's another one. Go ahead, Jeff.
A little bigger, please, Brian. What is that? Mistress Mary? Quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With
Cockle shells and silver bells and pretty maids all in a row.
thanks, Brian.
No problem. It's a little bit blurry the larger I make it, so sorry about that.
That's all right.
Wait, hold on. You just skipped over it, though.
No, we read it. Mistress Mary
Well,
Quite Contrary.
it wasn't, but that's the thing. It wasn't Mistress Mary. Does anyone in the chat know what it was?
It was Mary Mary.
Yeah.
Mary, quite contrary, right. Mistress. Okay,
Well, maybe that was
go
hard for
on.
kids to say, and maybe they just changed it. I don't know. Has it always been mistress? I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, these are all alternatives that I've never seen. Go ahead, Jeff.
Baba Black Sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, Mary, have I. 3 bags full. 1 for my master, and 1 for my dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives in the lane.
I thought it was down the lane.
Down the
Yeah.
lane, right?
Down the
And
lane.
Yes, sir.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. 3 bags full.
Look, this one's
I
kind of
can't
hard to
remember
read.
what was. Oh, little Miss Muffet. She sat on a tuffet, eating of curds and whey. There came a great spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away.
What? No.
I'm just telling you, alternative nursery
No,
rhymes.
it was Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating her curds and whey. Along
No,
came a spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away.
no. For me, it was little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider who sat down beside her and scared Miss Muffet away.
I remember frightened, but I like it
I do
says
too.
here. But I also remember she sat on a tuffet, not on her tuffet.
Yeah.
On
me
her
too.
tuffet.
But eating her curds and whey is the big change there.
Not there came a great spider.
No,
Along came
I
a
remember
spider.
along came a
Right.
spider. Yeah, that's another big one.
No, they're not all from the same source. Some are, but not all. So this is Rockabye Baby. And now we have Hushabye.
Hushabye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough bends, it never can fall. Safe is the baby, bough, cradle, and all. That's all jacked
Much
up.
nicer. That's much nicer, though. The baby doesn't die. So I like it.
That's true. That's not even close to what I remember, though. That's crazy.
Now, we just covered the pigs. Because for me, it was this little piggy went to the market. And now it's to market.
Yeah, we talked about that one. That one's an older
Yes.
effect, but yeah, it's worthy of discussing.
I remember to market.
You didn't. This little pig went to the market.
See, I don't remember the being in there.
Okay, but read the last line. Do you remember that? This little pig said, "Wee wee, I can't find my way home."
I
No,
can't.
I
Maybe I
remember
can't.
all the way home.
No, I remember wee all the way home.
Yes, me too.
I guess the number of wees would depend on how long it takes you to run your tickling fingers up, to the top. But yeah, but it would be wee normally. Um, Humpty
So the
Dumpty
next one
was it Humpty
this one
Dumpty?
is slightly, there's a word missing.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty Dumpty together again.
And for me, it was couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
Yes, that's what
So
I
the
remember
back is
too.
gone.
I don't know. For some reason, I'm remembering it without the Dumpty and just Humpty.
It could have been Humpty back together again because I thought that in my head.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah. But back was always in there for me.
Yeah, me too.
Couldn't put Humpty together again is what I remember.
Not back together?
I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence on that one. I kind of remember couldn't put Humpty together again. You guys know what ladybirds are, right? Ladybirds are what the British call.
Bluebird, isn't it bluebirds? Oh no,
No, ladybird is a
the red and
ladybug.
black things.
Yeah,
Ladybug
ladybugs.
is it. The red and black things.
Yeah, the red and black. Those fancy soldiers that are wearing red and black. All right. So two nursery rhymes have definitely changed. Yeah, we have different variations of stuff, but Oh, okay. So this is the one about the spider going up the water
my
spout.
high school boyfriend and I would always fight over the spider song. What do you remember? It begins with an I. The blank blank spider went up the water spout. Please fill in what you remember. The blank blank spider went up the water spout.
I mean, it tells you right there in the title.
No, you would think, but no.
I remember I remember doing it two ways.
Don't say it then.
Weensy, oh, I can't say it?
Oh, you can.
Eensy Weensy spider and the Itsy Bitsy spider. I remember there was two different versions.
Well, see, there's like 16 now. Go ahead, Jeff. What do you remember?
Just Itsy Bitsy. That's all I ever heard.
Theresa, you want to chime in? You've been so quiet. Theresa?
I typed it in the thing. Go look.
She did. Okay, so in the chat we have Itsy Bitsy for John Nada, Itty Bitty for Hammer, Itsy Bitsy for Theresa, Eensy Weensy for Desert Flower, Itsy Bitsy for Lord Frybread, Itsy Bitsy for Adam for Christ, and still no one's got what my ex-boyfriend remembers. Anybody else want to chime in before we move on? It was always Itsy Bitsy for me. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. It was always Itsy Bitsy Spider in Sandy's past, and in his it was Inky Dinky. I've never heard of Inky Dinky. Oh my goodness! I could have sworn I heard you guys talking about this on Scarab Show. No,
we did years ago.
Okay, and some remember Eensy Weensy. Yeah, that was me. I remember Eensy Weensy as well.
And someone else remembers Itty Bitty. All these different versions.
Oh my god! But I never.
And
Inky Dinky doesn't even sound right.
And it's there, and he would be like Inky Dinky. I mean, no, it was Itsy Bitsy. He's like Inky Dinky. He was positive it was Inky Dinky. And look, there is Inky Dinky versions. And it's even got like down came the raindrops, out came the sunshine, instead of down came the rain, out came the sun.
The inky dinky spider. That's so weird to me.
Uh-huh, me too.
Do you ever remember hearing the eensy weensy spider?
No, that's weird to me too. It was always itsy bitsy.
Me either.
Elmo remembers the itsy bitsy spider. These are all itsy bitsy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
So I guess there's an explanation. Where did the inky dinky?
No.
No. Oh, the Great Debate. It talks about the Great Debate here.
I even found this crazy blog where I can't read it, where she argues with her dear husband over the exact same thing. I wonder if JC, the ex-boyfriend from high school, if it's him. And if you go to the article, she says, my dear husband insists that the correct descriptive is inky dinky, whereas I demur. I vaguely recollect from my own childhood either hearing itsy bitsy spider or even more familiar to me the description eensy weensy, referring to instead spider's minuscule size. So she remembers itsy bitsy and eensy weensy, and he remembers inky dinky. Bizarre. This is bizarre. So here's another one for you. Go ahead, Jeff.
Then talking to Hebrew earlier, we both realized something wrong with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Up above blank blank so high.
Can I say it?
What's your blank blank, chat? Go ahead, Brian.
Up above the world so high?
Yep. For me too.
Hey, I know we talked about another thing that's changed was, well, no, we'll wait on this.
So Lord Frybread says world. Desert, the world.
I mean, what's next? They're going to change Yankee Doodle? Went to town
The
riding
sky
on
for John
a
Nada.
unicorn?
Wait. Wait, do you hear? Do you hear? There's another option. The sky for John Nada. So we have the world and the sky. Any more?
But the sky is at the end.
Like
Up
a
above
diamond
the
in the
world's-
sky, yes. It is.
Yeah.
Sky so high for me, says Mikado. I'm not even going to try. I don't want to destroy your name. World for Last Flyboy. Theresa? See, and there's already a variation with the next line. Horse Mom
Sandy?
says,
Sandy,
yeah, Theresa.
up above the world so high. That's what I remember.
World for Theresa. Horse Mom says, how I wonder blank you are.
What you are?
What you are for me, but they remember where you are.
I remember what you are.
Sky high, says Fred Snow. A sky, says your dad. The world, says Amber Christ and Lurk Learner. What, says Lord Frybread. Wow, Frybread. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I'm not reading worlds and what's and where's too much. Angels Don't Fall says where.
Can I go on to the next slide?
Yes, please.
What I was going to say was that baseball thing, take me out to the ball game, has changed, and we talked about that one a long time ago.
I noticed that years ago.
Take me out to the crowd. Now it's take me out with the crowd. That's so
Yeah.
weird to me.
That bothers me because I'm a big baseball fan and I know how that song used to go and it's not right now.
Yep, I agree 100,000% too. All right, so as we can see, Hebrew remembers the sky, and that sounds right to me too. but it's always been up above the world. They both sound right to me. I have a dual memory on this one. I can see up above the sky so high, up above the world so high. They both sound right.
So what do you remember, Sandy?
Both. I have a dual memory on this one.
Can you explain to the chat what do you mean by dual memory in case some people don't know what having dual
That I
memory means?
remember both ways. I have memories of both ways. The sky and the world. No, it's not where, it's what. I'm sorry, horse mom. Looks right now, says Red Snow. Both. They remember both. Brian,
Yep.
are there any
Do I
more
need to hit play?
slides?
Do I need to hit play?
No, that's just a picture. So this is a version with two stanzas, and one says world and one says sky.
Oh my goodness, maybe we've been singing the wrong stanza the entire time.
Or maybe we should have been singing both the whole time. This could be why I have a dual memory. Okay, so this one's world.
But yeah, so apparently we've all been singing the chorus and not the whole song.
Yeah, the actual lyrics, we don't know them at all. When the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light, twinkle, twinkle all the night.
I do
Never heard
remember
any
that
of
one.
these.
I do remember
I've
that
never heard any
stanza.
of them.
No,
Me either.
I remember that stanza, but I don't remember. See how we would do it? We would sing the chorus, then sing "When the Blazing Sun Is Gone," that one, and then sing the chorus again, and that completed the song in my eyes. But I don't know. I didn't know there was so many stanzas.
Hey Virgos, welcome.
Crazy how it's up above the sky so high.
It could be, but sky and world sound very different. Then again, the green needle thing does too.
Yeah, and yes, and you remember why we sing "How I Wonder What You Are"? I think it's because we have some stars that look like stars, but they're actually planets. So I think that's where that correlates to, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of that. That's all I have to say about that. See, every now and again, my southern kind of slips in. Okay, so what are we talking about next? What about the desert? Do you want to talk about deserts and dunes?
Sure.
Which one should I cover
Sure.
first, Sandy?
Teresa, you're gonna do Teresa's first.
Huh?
Before we
What,
lose her.
Sandy?
You're up, Teresa.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. I'm getting
Hey, we got. By
tired.
the way, hey guys, we got 40 people watching.
Oh,
That's
we
crazy.
do?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Nice.
Wow.
Man, we hit the big 40, guys.
Thank you. Thank everyone for coming. Sorry it was so late.
I think
have
that's
you
why
ever-
there's so many people. 'Cause we're
Yeah,
so
that's
late.
true. Have you ever heard of a Ventifact before?
Yes or no in the chat, everyone. Ventifact. Have you ever heard of it?
Ventifact. Wow, that's so cool.
Thank you, Dean. Dean says, "Grace be to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ."
Aw.
Thank you. And also with you.
Why do I live in the desert? I don't know. No.
Now, wait, I want to keep an eye on Angels Don't Fall, because Angels Don't Fall lives in the desert like Theresa, and it sucks, she says, or he says.
Oh.
So Horse Mom says no. No. Desert Flower says no. That's a no for Hammer, no for Lord Frybread, no for News. I don't know if I should say that. I know it's your username, but we're going to go with just News. Adam for Christ says,
Oh no. What
Did we
happened?
lose everyone?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, Sandy disappeared.
Yeah.
She'll be right back. It's her stream bug. She'll be right back. Just keep an eye out for her. Okay?
Okay.
She'll be Jeff, what did you do to your name? I was looking at that going, what? Sandy?
Jeffected.
huh?
Stream bug, you were gone.
Yeah, I know. I hate the StreamYard bug. I can't believe they've ignored it for a year.
Okay, where were you? Where was I? Brian,
I was just saying that everybody in the chat says no, so we can move on.
All right, let's move on. A Ventifact is a stone, rock, or rock face carved into intricate patterns by sandblasting winds over time. Some Ventifacts can be hollowed out, tree-shaped, or even look like a skull. Are these new, or the name of this process new for you too?
So this one that Theresa found was in a museum. It's a Ventifact in the museum. The wind carved that. Like, I can't even. That looks like some sort of like turtle skull or something. I can't believe the wind did that.
That is so weird.
Oh, horse's name is Diva. Oh.
Good name.
Awesome name. So here's some examples of Ventifacts that are even more impressive than the skull, in my opinion. The top middle one looks like a mouse that's shocked or something.
Uh-huh.
We've got the lion from the Lion King in the middle left.
More pictures. What do you
It's like
think,
giant.
Brian?
It looks like that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there's only so much we just be looking at different pictures.
So next, I guess if we're following the line here, comes the dunes and desert features. So which one am I doing?
What do you mean, which one are you doing? There's
Which
two
one am I
different
doing
folders?
first? Yeah, there's several folders here. There's two of them for desert and dunes.
Whichever one you want. It doesn't matter the order.
All right, let's talk about the desert.
Okay. I forgot that one was there because that was supposed to be for Mandela Monday. All right, everyone. Which of these is not native to a desert? Which does not occur naturally? Oh, I thought I fixed this. I must have uploaded the wrong slide. But I don't want to mess you guys up. So just write. No, see, this isn't the right slide. Crap. Anyway, cactus, sand, cement, or D, none. All are found in the desert. I had a much better slide, and I didn't use cactus. I used something else.
Are you telling me there's natural cement in a desert?
No, well, it could be D, none.
Oh.
Or cement is not found in the desert. Which of these is not found naturally in a desert? Cactus, sand, cement, or none. All are found in the desert. Which one, guys? Now,
I'm gonna
wait,
have
I
to
don't
go
want you to guess what you think it is. Hold on, wait. I don't want you to guess what you think it is. I want you to tell me from your memory. From your memory, what is not in the desert?
I'm gonna have to say C,
C.
and that's my final answer.
Mine
Okay.
too.
I better get $1 million.
So Adam for Christ is C. Shelby Norwood is C. Desert Flower is C. I want Last Flyboy and Horse Mom to please guess again. Okay, so Horse Mom says C. Lurk Learner says C. Angels Don't Fall says I have sand and cactus too. Don't remember concrete says Lurk Fried Red. John Nada says C. Anita says C. I guess Last Flyboy sticking with D. Tom McFarland says D. All right, we got a lot of answers, Brian. Hammer says C. We can go on. The answer is D. Michael Fontaine says B. D. None. They are all native to a desert. I have never heard of desert pavement or desert cement naturally occurring in a desert. Have you?
No way.
Based
Well,
on your answers, I would say no.
but wouldn't that mean that there would have to be water in the desert, or water, however you say it? I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, because
Well,
don't you need water?
To form
We're
cement,
going to get to that. There is water in a desert. It's just very sparse. While I can't claim desert pavement to be a Mandela effect for sure, I can say that I've never heard of nature creating concrete in the desert. So for me, I believe it is a new Earth phenomenon. I'm going to show you lots of pictures of it too, don't worry.
That is so weird.
Yeah, Brian.
I've heard of the concrete jungle, never the concrete desert.
Exactly. I'm waiting for it to be on my screen. There we go. Desert pavement can be found in deserts all over the world and has different names depending on the location. Those names are Reg in the West Sahara, Sarir in the East Sahara, Gibber in Australia, and Sai in Central Asia. How is it formed? According to worldatlas.com, a common theory, because they don't know for sure how it's formed, a common theory suggests that desert pavements are formed through gradual removal of sand by wind and intermittent rains, leaving behind the larger fragments. Once the pavement is formed, the pavement acts as a barrier to further erosion. So underneath all that sand in the desert, I guess, is larger rock. And with the minimal amount of rain that the desert gets, it can solidify. Yes, Jeff beat you to it, Hammer. Except so's Philly, that's where I am. The concrete jungle.
Do the contractors know about this?
I don't know, but here's an actual picture of it. Basically, over thousands of years, wind and rain through the process of erosion create concrete, which is hardened by desert varnish.
You can't.
Have you guys ever heard
tell
of
me
desert
that.
varnish?
You
Huh?
can't tell me that because that looks like different sedentary rocks. I mean, there's a no. Those all can't be from the same material. Looks like they were dragged and taken from other parts of the world. That's what that looks like.
I agree. I'm with you 1,000%, Brian.
Somebody made a mural or something on the ground in the desert there. I don't know.
Here's another one with desert
Or what do
varnish.
you call it? A mosaic? It's like a mosaic.
Desert varnish is a thin to thick yellow, red, or black coating made of clay particulates that forms on stable rock over time in arid regions. While I have seen desert varnish before, I'd never heard the term, so I will give some examples for those of you who haven't heard of it either. So I've never heard of desert varnish, but I have seen rocks look like this, so here we go. The black streaking, the coatings, that's all desert varnish.
mean, that would explain possibly why we have rainbow mountains and stuff like that,
Yeah, but it's
the
usually yellow,
striations.
red, or black, not green,
Right,
not blue. You see what I'm saying? Like the coloring.
right. Those are the
On
different
here,
patterns, I guess.
all different types of. You gotta remember, these are found all over the world, in Australia, Asia, the Sahara. And here's some images. Obviously, the red one at the bottom is probably the Sahara. Um, these are all desert pavements in different deserts. And sometimes the rocks can be very big. Good night, Horse Mom. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we're getting close to cutoff here. I know. Teresa's, um, this is like past our most of our bedtimes here.
We only have
But
a few. We have a few more folders. Not a lot, but we have a few.
yeah, but now we need to talk about Dunes, and we're
Yeah.
not
Now
talking
we're going
about
to talk
the
about
TV show,
dunes.
not the TV show, not to be confused with that.
Sand doesn't cover the rocks because apparently the wind keeps blowing the sand away.
All right, Sandy.
All right.
Actually, Jeff, do you want to
Again,
read this one?
but I
Yeah.
want to be specific. When you answer, I want your memory, not what you think it is. Yeah, Jeff.
In your memory, what are naturally created dunes made of?
What materials are dunes made out of, everyone? From your memory, what are dunes made of? So Angels Don't Fall says, we also have sand dunes here. Sand, says Lord Frybread. Eroded sand, says Hammer. Windswept sand, says Les Flyboy. Sand, says Desert Flower. Anything else? John Nada says sand. Panel, anything?
Sand.
Just sand?
Yep.
Rock
Yeah.
dust, says Michael Fontaine. Anyone else? Brian, Teresa, you want to chime in?
I've only heard of sand dunes, to be honest with you, and that scene right there reminds me of Tatooine, in Star
Huh.
Wars.
See, I know another dune that no one said, and I'm surprised. Clean silica sand, says Angels Don't Fall. Lyric Learner says sand. Teresa, are you with us?
She's probably not with us, Sandy. So can we move on?
I'm
Or
just making sure she
Sandy?
doesn't have any more folders. Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Okay, in my past, I have only ever known of sand and snow dunes because there's snow dunes in Antarctica. Because Antarctica is a desert, even though it's snow. You guys have never heard of snow dunes?
Nope.
No.
Really? Okay, well, maybe this is a twofer for you guys. So there are snow dunes, too, in Antarctica. But in the Great Lakes and regions in the Arctic and Antarctic Circle, ice dunes can also be found, which makes sense, I guess. If there's snow dunes, to me, there could be ice dunes, I guess. But I've never heard of ice dunes, but there are ice dunes in the Great Lakes.
I guess that's
But
when
that's
maybe
not,
the snow melts and then refreezes. I don't know. That's the only thing
I
I
don't
can think
know.
of.
But I will say this is not why I made this. There we go. Michael Fontaine comes in with gypsum. I have never heard of natural salt dunes. Have you? There's snow dunes in Utah, Angels Don't Fall, said. See? Not crazy. Snow dunes. But the reason it's not the snow that gets me, it's the salt dunes. Have you ever heard of them? Yes or no? Jeff, Teresa, Brian,
No.
salt dunes? I mean, not many people said salt in the chat, except for Michael Fontaine. No, says Hammer. Located in Salt Flat, Texas, the Guadalupe Mountains Salt Basin is home to 2,000 acres of gypsum salt dunes, ranging from 3 feet to 66 feet high. And I've never heard of these.
I never heard of Salt Flat, Texas either.
Mm-mm. Lot's wife, says Dave Summers. That's a pillar, not a dune.
Wait, is that a place?
Yeah, this is the national park
In
in
Texas?
Salt
In
Flat,
Texas.
Texas.
Never heard of Salt Flat, Texas before. And I live in Texas.
Yeah, you live in Texas.
Never heard anybody
And
mention that before.
that
Are
is
those
salt
mountains?
dunes.
Do they have mountains in
Yeah,
Texas?
the Guadalupe Mountain Range, yes, or Guadalupe
What?
Mountain.
That's so weird.
I didn't know
Usually when you
that
think of
either.
Texas, you think of plains,
Yeah.
Flat.
Speaking of sand dunes, science now believe they can communicate with one another. The experiment, I don't know why that's there. There is nothing below there. I probably wrote it twice, just in case. The experiment below showed that they can repel each other, which could explain the symmetrical patterns of dunes in deserts. Go to the next slide. See if that's written twice. Yeah, there it is. The experiment below. There you go. So the experiment at the top and below. It spun around in a track, which created like water wind. And it showed that the closer they got together, they would start to move farther apart. So they're saying that's them communicating. And that explains why when you look at like a field of dunes, they all look the same.
Oh, maybe
That
that's because they're
symmetry you get.
territorial. They're territorial.
Right. And that's them communicating. Credit to Digital Man on YouTube. I did find this on my own, but I always go and check to see if anyone covered it. I also came across another phenomenon with sand dunes, and upon researching it, found a video by Digital Man that he made back in March of 2021. Now, Brian, panel, when Brian plays the clips, we all need to mute, okay? There's going to be like 5 clips coming up, video
All right.
clips from a channel. We're going to need to mute at that point, but I got to finish reading first.
Okay.
Some sand dunes can sing. You can literally play sand like an instrument. If it's the right type of sand, though, it's got to be the right type. The grains of sand must be round and between 0.1 and 0.5 millimeters in diameter. Only 35 desert locations around the world have this special singing sand. You guys
Does it
ever heard of
sing Mr.
singing sand
Sandman?
dunes? No,
Mr.
but wait until
Sandman.
when you hear this, oh my goodness. So Matthias Theory, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I found this on his channel. Linked in the description, I gave the link to add to the description, Brian, is a 13-year-old video by Matthias Theory. I love how his last name is Theory. The next few clips are the most comprehensive experiments of playing sand that I could find. So here we go. We're going to mute up. Brian, you're going to be presenting with sound. And if you can, turn the volume up.
On a passé l'après-midi à se rendre compte qu'il y a 2 sons, un son de pied et un son d'avalanche.
Hang on, let me turn this up.
Yeah, you do have to turn it up.
se rendre compte qu'il y a deux sons, un son de pied et un son d'avalanche. Alors dans le sable qui chante, il y a deux seuils. Le premier seuil, il y a une quantité de sable qu'on pousse. Donc si je pousse 4 doigts, ici ça sonne sans problème. 3 doigts. 2 doigts. 1 doigt. Tout juste.
Now, Brian, when you get to the slide that says brace yourself, lower the sound. When it says brace yourself, lower the sound.
Okay.
Si je vais trop lentement. Et là, si je passe juste le seuil. Si je vais plus vite. Ça sonne plus aigu.
That's so cool.
Il chante, par exemple. On peut aussi le cisailler comme ça. Faire différentes notes. Et on voit qu'en faisant tomber le sable, ça fait aussi du son.
Okay. So this one says
Make
brace
it
yourself.
normal volume. Yeah, normal
Okay.
volume.
Okay, it's loud.
Unbelievably loud.
Can't hardly hear it. Should I turn it up some more?
Okay, but it's going to get louder as it goes on. But yeah, be careful. Just turn it up a little bit. Oh, normal volume, Brian. So normal. That's the volume you should have it at, is normal. It's not turned all the way up like you had it.
No, it's not all the way up right now.
I didn't hear anything, Brian.
Okay, you want me to go back and play it again?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. Are you guys hearing the last one?
Nope. Didn't hear it.
Let me turn it up.
Like, it should be at least at 100%.
You guys hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like bees buzzing in a beehive. Or a plane taking off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to say what that sounded like. All right.
Yeah, last 5 ways says like a bad digger-do instrument. So are these new for you too? I've never heard of singing sand dunes, salt dunes, and even ice dunes, though I can see why they would exist unlike the salt dunes. So this is all new stuff for me. I don't know if it's new for you, but new for me. See what we have left. Hold on.
Kind of makes you
Did you
think
do
a
the
little bit.
did you do the residue the folder yet?
I didn't cover it because you told me to stop, but I do want to cover the Wizard of Oz one.
I know, but before you do that, did you do Teresa's Secretary of State?
I covered that last time.
Okay.
There's
You covered that last time and not the other ones? That's odd.
Yeah, it is odd.
Okay.
there's another new Wizard of Oz one too. I don't know if you guys saw.
No, what was it about?
Well, now Glinda, the Good Witch, says to Dorothy at the end, "Think to yourself, there's no place like home." I don't remember it like that. I remember it as, "Say to yourself, there's no place like home."
Oh.
Nathan Sanders found it.
Wait,
Oh,
Brian,
wow.
why don't you leave this one for a second and do the logos first and then end on the Mandela effect?
Okay, it is getting really late here, so we're at a just giving you like a 22 minutes heads up here.
We got plenty of time to do those two. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm not even covering the movie, Jeff. I'm gonna have to look. We're gonna have to look in. Oh, Nathan Sanders found that.
Yeah, I saw it last week, and then I checked it as soon as he said it. Sure enough, it was different.
Well, Sandy's going to need to make some slides for it or whatever, and then we
I'll
can
have to look
present
this up.
on next week's
I'll
show.
check. I'll check his Flickr too, because he probably already has everything in there.
Probably,
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, I'm seeing a lot of merging and weird stuff in Disney. Dan says we've already talked about this, but I don't remember seeing this. Do you guys remember ever seeing scalloped engines on airplanes? That weird pattern in the top right?
No.
Because that's new for me. And Dan said it's been covered, but I don't remember ever seeing that in my life. I've never seen anything like that.
I think
But,
I remember Dan covering that.
So now you said no, and now you remember it.
No, I don't remember it like before, but I remember him covering it.
Gotcha. So, Bull Durham's all merged, and there's a baseball diamond below Durham, and I don't remember that. I don't remember that little diamond being there.
Nope.
The coral reef, the sea is eating the word, and it's merged. The ORAL is all merged, and the EF is merged. Interventions, I don't remember the O and the V being filled in. Mexico is merged. That's the sign you see walking into Mexico in Epcot, where I have the blocks. Go on, Brian. So this is a really old Texaco can, and it's merged on the old can, the X and the A. We talked about in the past. We talked about 7-Up being lithiated with lithium. Around the same time, there was cocaine in Coca-Cola. But I've never heard of 66 lithiated lemon soda. This one's new for me. I don't know if it's new for you guys, but I've never heard of the 66, even though we researched lithiated soda when we found it in 7-Up years ago. I don't even know what that logo is in the top left, but High-Bright maybe? I don't know.
And
Retail Solutions?
Mulan looks really wrong to me.
Yeah, that's in here twice because this is actually an older folder that you missed because we didn't have time. So I threw the newer stuff at the end, and I think Mulan's in here twice. But yeah, the LA is completely merged, and the L looks wrong. And the LAN is merged in the second one, I think, but not the first. Now, go back, Ryan. I need to ask about the flag. Guys, do you remember presidential flags behind Kennedy having gold fringe? I don't ever remember seeing a U.S. flag with gold fringe.
Me either.
But during the speech, there's a flag behind him with gold fringe on it. I've seen it on state flags and other flags like the Girl Scouts, but not there's no gold fringe on the American flag. So I don't understand why it's there. And you can even see it blowing in the wind on the right side of him. And the Candyman is merged, and I've never seen Uncle Sam's hat with the stripes like that. Okay, Brian. So I've covered this logo with the orange in the center of Lotrimin before that I don't remember. The middle is what I remember, but the AF is merged. And now the RI is merged in Lotrimin, so I'm covering the logo again. And Winston, this old magazine ad, has a number 1 and a slanted dot for the I. But it's not on the package, just the ad.
Yeah, they never did that back then. That's so weird.
Absolutely. Okay, Brian. Okay, so I was watching, I don't know if you're familiar with the YouTube channel Brutal Moose, and he was doing a review of Hungry Man. It was weird. But I noticed that it's not exactly merging because there's an outline, but the outline is merged in Hungry Man. And these are old boxes. These are not new. And I wish I could find an image that's better quality of the image on the bottom right, but nowhere on the internet could I find that box. And that's from a commercial. Because I got a feeling there's a ton of merging and weird stuff going on there. Like the D is not italic, but the N's are. I would love to see a better quality version of that box. But also in the middle on the left, fried chicken, it's all cut up. I don't know if you could zoom in on that, Brian. That's from a 1970s box of TV dinner. Look at fried chicken. With the E's with the little cutouts.
Yeah,
And the F with the little cutouts.
Yeah, and the E.
It was not like that. Yeah, it's so wrong.
And the H and the E.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they never used to write it like that.
No. So Aquafresh, this is an old commercial. We've covered it before, but it's the first time I've seen it in the commercial where the F is cut off. Los Angeles Magazine from 1990. I don't remember things doing that back then. It's all merged and the A and the G is connected. Here we have a Hungry Man hat where it's all merged.
Is that
And
Baum
this is a
second?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a 1991 commercial for Downy Sunshine Fresh. I don't remember the D cut open like that.
No, that looks ridiculous. And so does Los Angeles.
Absolutely. So Tiger Beat, the T and the B are merged at the top of the B. Brian, can you zoom in on that top one? The T and the B on the top left. It's got a little piece that comes out of the B to merge it with the T. Do you see that? And why is that T curved? That just looks so stupid. I don't understand. Now, I've never seen that logo before. It was before my time. But it just looks so messed up, I wanted to share it with you. The logo I did see is the one below it. I don't remember heart. I don't remember that overlapping. I don't remember that little thing coming off the G. They were just block letters. Tiger Beat. I don't remember that heart circle thing. That's weird. And it's all merged.
I don't remember that either.
Scroll down, Brian. Brian?
Yep.
Scroll down, please. And then Tiger Beat later on had those triangles that we saw, like Theresa found in the TV series What's Happening. The triangles popping up. I don't remember that. This is when I would have bought these magazines. It's like 85, 84, 86. Even to the 90s because of Nuke on the Block. It's like 89, 90. I don't remember those triangles.
I don't remember anything about that one. That one looks weird to me.
Yeah,
The whole thing.
I agree. Okay, Brian. We're trying to move through the logos faster here. So Teen Beat. Now this is the one I bought most often. There was a line there. I remember the line, but it was not a part of the words. It was above Teen Beat. Now it's completely connected to it, merging everything.
Oh my God, is that DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Yes, it's an old magazine, Brian.
And that's Luke from what, 90210?
Yep, 1993.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So,
Land of the Lost
you-
is so wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember this extra line above the E. I
Yeah.
remember it like the top middle.
Yeah,
It
me
looked like
too.
the top middle of my pass. And now most of them look like this with this line above the E.
Yeah, that looks all jacked up. That wasn't there.
No.
Who found that one, by the way?
I did. So here's some residue of Home Depot. And even though it's a map, it's still residue to me. Lowe's without the apostrophe. Just Lowes.
Hey, Sandy, did I tell you I
Yeah.
used to work at Lowe's?
Yes, you did.
And Lowe's did not have the apostrophe when I worked there.
I believe you 100%. Hammer does remember the gold fringe when on presidential U.S. flags.
I've heard Captain Crunch is not actually a captain, he's an admiral.
He's a
Yeah,
captain.
he's an admiral. No, his band say he's an admiral. He's a captain, yeah. It's both ways there, so I thought I'd highlight it. We have a British flag, and the headband that I think Moneybags found, and the wristbands that I found that are missing. They're both missing. I remember wristbands on Richard Simmons as well as the headband.
Me too.
There's also a Waldo in the audience. That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Red Snow just saw a Lowe's sign the other day with no apostrophe. Well, if you ever see it again, take a picture because that doesn't exist anymore. Always had the apostrophe. Okay, so I get a lot of upside down rainbows for Curiouser because Curiouser remembers the purple on the top. So that's what that is. That's upside down rainbows for Curiouser. There's Coca-Cola with no dash at all. And the top right is a speech in Donald Trump's hand when he was president saying there was no quid. I can't say it. Screw it. You know what I'm trying to say. But there's only one Y on Zelensky. Who covered that one? Does anyone remember who covered that one recently?
I first saw that on Brian Staveley's channel.
There you go. Brian Staveley. That's who I was trying to think of. Thank you.
Yep.
So Brian Staveley just recently covered that. It's two Ys. And then Theresa found it, and we had to break the news to her that Brian Staveley covered it already. And here's residue of just one on Donald Trump's speech. Yeah, Brian. So here's a lot of Coca-Cola with actual dashes.
Yeah, but the thing is, it used to be a tilde.
Yeah, I know. I remember the tilde, but some people don't. Some people just remember a full dash. So this comes from Anthony Rogers. He found excellent residue of the Mona Lisa in Futurama. And then there's another residue where the smile is a little bit better, but the eyes are still too deep set for me. Okay. I've never heard of real or fact cigarettes. Real fact. And look at fact on the pack of cigarettes at the top. That just looks crazy to me. I've never heard of real fact cigarettes. Not saying it's a Mandela. Just never heard of it before.
I can't believe they encouraged pregnant mothers to.
Yeah, that's the first. That's why I have it in there. We've seen some crazy cigarette ads from doctors and stuff like that, but I've never seen one with a pregnant woman until now. So I put it in here.
That's insane.
I think you're correct, Hammer.
Yeah. You know, when I was 14, I had the. I remember there was some kids in my school that would work in not what am I thinking? Tobacco fields, and you know, they were getting paid to, of course. What am I saying here? You know, I guess take the tobacco leaves and harvest them, I guess.
Harvest, that's the word you're looking for. Yeah.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Yes. But I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't realize how much the chances of you getting cancer are higher working with that kind of stuff.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's odd. There's no smoke involved. Maybe from working in the sun.
From the sun, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so this is credit to Fiverr. He found an image with a red bar flag, a tablet for the, which is now a plaque with cutouts, and hair instead of the strips of fabric coming down. This is from 1989. AT&T is already merged in 1989. This is from you, Brian. Daylight savings time in your car. And on the bottom right is residue of an elephant. In the front, the way I remember his feet. And in the back is the current reality. So the front is straight legs. The back has the ankle and that weird shape that they have now. And then there's also residue. I don't remember a mane of hair on the back of a giraffe. And maybe it's Mandela covered this as well. And that's residue of no mane on the back of the giraffe.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of falling out. Sandy, did you already mention my car? My car
Yes,
says it right?
I did. I
Daylight
did. We can move on now.
Mine says daylight savings as well.
Oh, really, Jeff?
Yes, noticed it the other day.
That's cool. That's awesome.
So residue of the old Earth, South America being where it should. Red bar flag in Las Vegas is Goodwill. And a number 4, I know it's upside down, but at least it's an IV and not I.
Oh, you mean the 4
That
I?
Brian. Yeah. So, actually,
yeah,
we don't have to. We could. Oh, this is where I said Mulan's coming in twice. So, short circuit. I don't remember the logo looking like that. It's
No,
so
me neither.
merged.
But,
The T's are off centered. Huh?
Who found that one? I think that was found that one.
What do you
Somebody
mean? I found it.
No, somebody
talking
found
about?
that short circuit logo like a long time ago.
Really? I don't
Yes.
remember it. And we even covered Short Circuit with Johnny Five multiple
Mhm.
times.
And you
Peter
sure
Pan is all merged now.
Yeah, but also
A is overlapping. Huh?
the P's are broken on Peter Pan. They were never broken.
Yeah, I know, and the P's are broken as well. Right.
The E's are also pointing upward. See that upward trend?
Yeah.
E's.
Yeah. And I don't even want to say what the 2 E's and the T look like. Bad. So here we have a Walt Disney poster for Snow White, and the O is filled in. Now, interestingly, I've covered this. I remember her puff sleeves being yellow, matching her skirt. Now I know it's red in the center, but they're yellow there. Yellow puff sleeves, yellow skirt. So it's getting a green box for me, even though it's not blue in the center and it's red. And then the bottom left, there's no bracelets. Maybe it's Mandela found bracelets on the actual screen. This is someone's drawing, and they did not put the gold bracelet in on the screen. And another tablet for the Statue of Liberty. Top left, Snackwell's, the K and the W is now merged. I'm seeing How I Met Your Mother written like that in quite a few places, and it's just wrong. Never saw that before. El DeBarge, Who's Johnny? I don't ever remember seeing the dots in between each letter. And I used to be married to someone who came from a Jewish family. I've seen this. Holidays at their home. That whole logo is messed up. The A is merged. Oh, all right. Brian's already left. Theresa found this. This is in her group. The Target logo in The Simpsons. We have a British flag, and there's no pin on the collar. And she's wearing red lipstick, the way I remember. Wow, why am I drawing a blank? Rosie the Riveter. Now she's got a pin on her collar, and she doesn't have lipstick on. It's like peach lips. Looks weird.
Yep.
Okay, so a while ago, years ago, Moneybags covered the rising sun turning to this flower, and it was black. He said it was a black flower, and it was black at the time. Then I found it, that's my slide at the bottom later on, that it changed to blue. And just to prove that it was blue and not black, I took swatches, showed you what black looked like, and I even bumped the color up so people could see it was blue. Well, now in the new series, it's bluer. It's much more blue. It's a cross between the two colors below. That's not retouched. That's how it looked on Netflix. That color blue. So it's definitely blue now. No question. It's no longer black.
No, it was black. It was totally black.
Yeah, now it's blue. And again, I covered that in 2019 or early 2020. All right, final folder. I'm hoping you guys find this one as good as I think it is, because this one blew my mind. Blew my mind. Freaked out. Talked to Theresa and Brian about it.
Wait, what about the Noodles one real quick? Did you want to cover that one real quick?
Oh, yeah. That's just a fun little thing that I want to share. It's not a Mandela effect. It's a fun little thing that I wanted to share.
Well,
Because we have changed this reality, guys. All right. I found something interesting. Actually, Jeff, you read this so I can get a little break for the last one.
All right. I found something interesting that I wanted to share concerning an old-time displacement Mandela effect. Cup of noodles. Yes, the company changed the name and removed the O, but many remember the O being there for nearly a decade after the O had been removed. I call that a time displacement ME, and I remember that as well. It was there for me up until like a couple years ago, actually.
Yeah.
The interesting part is this article found talking about their 50-year anniversary celebration in 2021. They added back the O because of us.
Because of us. Okay, Brian. I would start with the words in the middle and then read the article.
The article states that over the years, through social media What's that word?
Monitoring.
Monitoring. They saw a lot of talk about the missing O. Tell me
that wasn't
that.
our community.
Tell me that wasn't our
That
community.
was
Yep,
us. We were the
definitely.
ones talking about the O. They were
Yep.
listening to us. And since the type is so small, I can read it. Nissin Foods brings the O back to Cup Noodles as part of its 50th anniversary, and they say it's been almost 30 years since we changed the name, but thanks to social media monitoring, we realized there's a lot of conversation about the O, said Jacqueline Park, Vice President Marketing, Nissan Foods USA. So for our 50th anniversary, we decided to end the debate and bring back the O. We're tired of fighting it.
Why did it take
So we
50
made
long
them
years
put
or
the O
30
back.
long years?
Huh?
It took like 30 long years.
Yeah, because of us talking about it, they threw the O back in. I think that's kind of crazy. Yeah, Jeff.
You think? You think, Sandy?
Yep.
So they decided to make things right in the world and bring the O back. What's that?
Not
Not
Make it a
sure
sure
little
if
if
it's
it's
bigger,
permanent.
Brian. I'm
permanent.
sorry.
Not sure if it's permanent.
Or was only for a short time in 2021. Though, but still crazy that we brought about this change.
I just thought it was neat that we brought about the change, that they changed it because of us talking about it.
And the name of the company you said was Nissin?
Yeah, Nissin.
Nissin?
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to get to the nitty gritty. And we lost Theresa, by the way.
We did.
Yeah, it's really late, you guys. We're almost done. This is the last one.
Last one. Last one, guys.
What is the title of the book this movie was based on by author Frank L. Baum?
So, in the chat, what is the title of the book?
Sandy, wasn't it L. Frank Baum?
Yeah, it might have been me. I was tired
Okay,
and
yeah.
rushing.
It's
Like
okay. It's
literally rushing to get done for the show.
L. Frank Baum.
Yeah, L. Frank Baum, not Frank L. Baum. It was just me rushing. Sorry, guys. You guys were live when I was doing this one.
Well, you did a great job, Sandy. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Any words in the chat, you guys?
So far, Dean Johnson says a change of noodle is a change of mind, i.e., repentance. Change your noodle. No one's answered on the book name yet. Oh, thank you, Raleigh. Raleigh is ULL Raven. Old Raven. Michael Fontaine, A Trip to Oz. Aw, thank you. That's so sweet, Raleigh. We love you too. It's okay if you don't know. No one knows. I'm shocked no one knows the name of this book. Come on, guys. It's not that difficult.
The Wizard of Oz. That's what that's. No, the Wizard
What
of
do you
Oz.
remember? You remember The Wizard of Oz, Brian? What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, it's just The Wizard of Oz, right?
Hammer never knew it was a book. Yes, it was a book for 40 years before they made the movie. Shelby Norwood just remembers Oz. John Nada, are you guessing? Journey to the Land of Oz. Last Flyboy says The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Come on, guys. There's quite a few people in chat. No one's answering. If you don't know, you can say you don't know. It's okay.
Can we go ahead and
All
go
right,
on
well,
to the
Brian,
next
it's
one?
getting late. We can go on because no one's answering. They're sleeping, Hammer said. All right, when I first read this book in elementary school, its title was the same as the movie, The Wizard of Oz. And Last Flyboy is correct. Even though I've never seen that in my life. But the title has always been The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Why is there an echo, Brian?
I don't know. The AC is running right now.
Oh. Guys, it was never Wonderful Wizard of Oz for me. It was only The Wizard of Oz. I have only heard The Wonderful Wizard of Oz in the song We're Off to See the Wizard from the 1939 movie, which was written 40 years after the book was published.
Well, let me ask you something too, Sandy. Do you remember all those snow globe looking things outside the Emerald
No.
City? I don't.
I don't
You know,
either.
Curiouser covered this.
She
Curiouser
did?
covered this, yeah, that the entire Emerald City is rounded off like that. We remember it looking more like crystals,
Yeah.
like sharp-edged crystals. And now they're domes. Even the tall ones are domes.
That's weird.
Yeah, Curiouser covered this. You can still find some books titled The Wizard of Oz, but the majority, including the Little Golden Books, are all The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So we should have at least heard of this title before.
Well, can I mention something else real quick, Sandy? Just real quick.
Yeah.
So if we go back to that last scene where they fall asleep, where the poppies. I covered this in an earlier video.
Yeah.
What do you remember the line being? Poppies will make them sleep. Don't you remember that?
I do.
What it changed, and I forget what it is now.
I remember poppies will put them to sleep. Now they'll sleep.
Maybe that's what changed it.
I remember make them sleep. All right.
Shelby Norwood says, I agree with you, Sandy, now that you mentioned it. A sequel to Oz. Well, we're going to get into that. So here's all Wonderful Wizards of Oz, or Wizard of Oz, I should say. Look at the of. Oh, go back for a second, Brian. In the yellow one, the big yellow one, look at the F in of. Look at that F in of. It's crazy. And then here is the Wizard of Oz, like I remember, on a couple books.
Maybe they just decided to shorten it, you know?
Maybe. I don't know. But I've never heard of the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And they even hyphenate it. It's so weird. Also, this part probably isn't a Mandela effect. But how many Oz books do you remember there being? Don't stay here, Brian. In the chat, how many books do you remember about Oz? Jeff, Brian?
1.
What about you, Brian?
I'll have to say 1.
Okay, Hammer says a gazillion. You are closer to correct than we are. I only remember 1. I remember a sequel movie, The Wiz, and Return to Oz, I think it was called.
Yeah,
But they
Return
were
to
not
Oz.
books. Adam for Crisis 4. Anyone else? One from my recollection, says Shelby. I never knew there were 14 books in total. Did you? And one is TikTok. TikTok of Oz, Glinda of Oz, The Marvelous Land of Oz, The Magic of
Damn,
Oz.
they have
Huh?
an actual TikTok of Oz?
Yeah.
Spelled the way TikTok is spelled today?
Yeah.
'Cause I honestly don't remember TikTok being spelled like that. I remember a C in the actual words TikTok.
So do I.
John Nanda says more than one, like 3. Well, it's actually like 14. So crazy. I don't remember all these books. I'm going to
No.
show them all to you. Here you go. Here's more. Ozma of Oz,
What?
The Emerald City of Oz,
I'm
The
curious
Wonderful Wizard of Oz,
if
The
the book
Scarecrow of
states that
Oz.
if the book illustrates Scarecrow having a gun or not. I'm curious about that.
And
Me
some
too.
of them have in, like Rinkatink in Oz, Dorothy and the Wizard in Oz instead of Oz. So there's also some ins in there, which is weird. Lord Frybread says, no wonder there's so many changes in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
That gun the Scarecrow has is in my top 10. It's ridiculous. I watched that
It
movie
is
so many
ridiculous.
times as a kid, and I never saw a gun.
Yeah, me too. That's a huge, what you call a huge Mandela effect there.
Yeah, and that can that the lion's holding too. I don't remember that, or the wrench that Tin Man has.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It
Absolutely
is.
ridiculous.
The whole movie's just ridiculous now. It's not even close to what I remember. And of course, tap your heels instead of click your heels.
It was click your heels.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shoes having, some people don't remember
What
the
was
bow
that?
on it.
What was that change you said, Jeff, that someone else found?
So it used to be click your heels and say to yourself.
No. Oh, click your heels and say to yourself.
Say to yourself, there's no place like home. Now it's tap your heels and think to yourself, there's no place like home.
That doesn't make any sense.
No. So she's
No,
not even
she's
following the
speaking.
instructions now.
No. And yeah, she actually says it out loud. It should be say. I agree 100%. We've also, like, I also found that she used to have a red dress. There was a red dress version of Dorothy instead of the blue.
See, I remember the blue. That's not a change
So
for
do
me.
I. No. I agree with you. I'm saying there was a red dress now.
Wait, what?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. There was a red dress for dress rehearsals. It was red. And then the director or somebody changed and he switched it to blue for filming.
Oh, wow.
Originally,
I
it
never
was
heard of
red.
that.
And exactly. And then I never known it. So I covered that a while ago. And there were scenes that were in the there was a scene that I found photographs of that I've never heard of. I think they were cut scenes. There's been a lot of changes. Theresa found giant lily pads in the scene where she starts off on the yellow brick road, and we don't remember that pond of water with the lily pads being there. There's so many changes that we've covered in this movie. It's crazy.
And of course, Fly My Pretties Fly isn't in there anymore.
I remember Glenda instead of Glinda.
Wait, it's not Glenda?
It's Glinda with an I.
Glenda with an I.
That's news to me. I've been saying Glenda.
I thought it was Glenda.
Glinda's dress has a huge butterfly on it now that I don't remember. Huge butterfly.
No, where?
Here, I'll show it to you. Hold on. Give me a
chest?
minute, Brian. Yeah, I have good pictures of it. I'll get it. Hold on.
Okay, so I have to tell you now. This is a similar movie, kind of, because it was running that, is overly popular, like The Wizard of Oz, that your parents would put you in front of the TV and you'd see this over and over. So Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original with Gene Wilder. I've made a video of this before, but this just popped up. So, you remember the final scene when they're in the Wonkavator and Willy Wonka tells Charlie, what does he say? He says, "Don't forget what happened to the blank who suddenly got everything he always wanted." What do you remember?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Okay, was it man or boy?
Boy.
Sandy?
Boy.
That's what I always thought, but it's always been man.
What?
Yes, it doesn't make sense. He's kneeling down to talk to Charlie about something, but Charlie, don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he always wanted. Charlie said, "What happened?" He lived happily ever after.
That's
Brian,
ridiculous.
I know.
I'm gonna send you a picture, but I'm also gonna send you a link to the folder because it's easier to just show the folder instead of sending you all the pictures. But I drew on one of the pictures to help you.
Okay,
so here's the link to the folder. But before you go to it, it's only like 4 slides. But before you go to it, show this picture. Because I drew on it to help you see the butterfly better. Do you guys remember a butterfly on her dress? On the Good Witch's dress? Right on her chest.
Okay. Yeah, there. Butterfly
So I
on her
drew
chest
on.
or shoulder.
Yeah. Also over her throat. She's a butterfly over her throat too.
Yeah, I see that. Did you know that there's actually a scene where you can see her, she accidentally hits her crown with the wand, and they left that scene in there.
No, I didn't. But if you go to the folder, I had better pictures too. I just wanted you to see the drawing so you could see it. But now you're going to see other pictures of it. Go to the folder I sent. So this is New Year's 2021 when I covered this.
That looks so
That's
wrong.
the original. Well, it's going to look even wronger in the next picture, the next slide. The top left is clearer. It's blown out. You can see the butterfly clear as day.
No, she didn't have a butterfly. No.
And I don't think
remember
she
the
had
butterfly
anything
on the neck or the shoulder.
I don't think she had anything on the neck except the regular like pearls.
I don't know, but that was a major change for me.
It was just like a regular necklace. We lost Sandy.
And the butterfly thing?
Butterfly looks really ridiculous. It was never like that. There she is.
And in the residue you're just showing, it looks like that, what's your face? The top left. Just go to the top left. Looks like the top left. What the hell's her name? Ellen. Ellen has a butterfly on her shoulder now. She didn't before. Now it's there. You see the butterfly?
I see that.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. That's why it's in. That's why I do the green backgrounds, guys. There was no butterfly there, and now it's there.
So your residue changed.
My residue changed.
Oh my God. Crazy.
Hey, Unimatrix, welcome. Right in time for the very end. Sorry, guys, we're almost done. So here's more residue without the butterflies.
All right, that concludes our show.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here and being here so late. Welcome to Unimatrix, Bit of Venom, Euler Greg. Who else showed up at the end? Let's see. I think that's the... Oh, Mustard Seed of Faith showed up at the end. And she says, these are books I would have seen in my school library if they had existed. I agree. Talking about all the Oz books. There's 14 of them now. And D. Johnson says, new life, bullfrogs and butterflies. They have both been born again.
All right, well, everyone have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless. I didn't know you were waiting on me, Sandy.
Yeah, it's okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here.
Good night, everyone.
Waiting for us.
Hey, Jeff, I'm going to send you a picture of the topics that we talked about tonight. If you could,
Okay.
Hang tight.